Hello student, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to study about different type of database user. I hope that you have watched my previous video related to database management system. As we know, the database management system is nothing but the software which help us for managing the database. So what is database? Database is a collection of interrelated data. Today we are going to study about different types of database user. If a database has been created for an organization, for an institute, then who are going to use this system? Is that only the developer who have developed the database are going to use the system? So that we are going to study today, that are the different type of database user. So first type of database user is the database administrator. Database administrator. Now, database administrator is an individual or a group of users who are going to define the schema and take charge of controlling various levels of database within an organization. Means they are the individual or a group of people who are going to define the schema, who are going to design the schema structure of the database, and they will decide which user can access what kind of data. So they are going to work along the designer to discuss and design the overall structure. They will also develop the workflows, functionality. They are going to decide the user of the database. They will provide the login credential for the database to the user. Okay. For example, if various employees are there in an organization, all the employees cannot access all kind of data in the database. Who can access what kind of data? What are the login credentials? What are the privileges that needs to be given? Everything is decided by this database administrator. They are going to check for the technology. They are going to check for the functionality. They are going to check for the data integrity. They will keep a check on the security issue. They will monitor the backup and recovery of the database record. So they are also called as the super user of the database. One who is going to manage everything in the database is the database administrator. They are going to grant privileges. They are going to revoke the privileges based on the role. That all will be done by the database administrator. Next is the database designer. Over here, in database administrator, they are going to define the database schema. They are going to define, they are not going to implement. The implementation will be done by the database designer. The database designer are the user who design the structure of the database, which include tables, indexes, view, trigger, store procedures, and they will enforce the various kind of constraint. These are the people who are going to work behind the scene. They will identify what kind of data needs to be stored in the database. They will design the appropriate structure. They will implement the structure. And for the different group of users, they will develop the different view. View is nothing but the snapshot of the particular data or the database. So, database designer are the user who are going to design the structure of the database, which includes table, indexes, views, triggers. So just over here, remember that one who is going to implement the structure of the database, one who is going to design the table will be done by the database designer. Next is the naive user. Naive user are also known as the parametric user. Now this kind of user, they do not have the technical knowledge regarding the database or the database management system, but still they are going to use the data and they are the frequent user of the database. For example, railway ticket booking system. Passengers are going to book the ticket. They do not have knowledge about the database. Still, by using the application, by using the form, they are going to access all those data. So they are the naive user who are going to frequently use the database. Next is the system analyst. System analyst will check whether all the requirement of the naive user have been satisfied or not. They are the person who are going to develop the CAN transaction, a standard form of transaction that will be used by the naive user. They are also going to check for the feasibility. They will check for the economic feasibility. They will check for the technical feasibility. And these people will help so that all the requirement of the naive user is been satisfied. That is a system analyst. Next is the sophisticated user. Okay, and we'll see next sophisticated user. We'll see application programmer. Who are the application programmer? Application programmer are the backend developer. Application programmer means the person who is going to develop a program. And in the program, you are going to access the database. So here the programmer is also going to access the database. So how they are going to access the database? They are going to access the database with the help of data manipulation language. They are going to fetch the data. They are going to put up in the report format, whatever activity they are going to do. Okay. So they are also the user of the database. Application is developed on the basis of the database. So data needs to be fetched from the database. So that activity will be done by the application programmer. Okay, they are going to write the application using any of the programming language, and they will use the data manipulation language to get the data from the database, to fetch the data from the database, and to perform the appropriate action. So they are the application programmer. Okay. Next is the sophisticated user. Sophisticated user means they are not going to write the program, but still they are going to get all the data from the database depending upon the need, using the knowledge about the database management system. Means they are going to write a query. They will interact with the database directly using the SQL query. They will write the query to fetch the data from the database. Next is the casual user. Casual user are the temporary user. Okay, they try to access the database and they want everything to be in the sorted place. They can be the middle or the high level management. The people who wants to see some data occasionally, that will be done by the casual user. I hope you understood the various types of user in the database management system. One who is going to access various types of data depending upon the need from the database. It can be the database administrator, there can be the database designer, they can be the naive user, they can be the system analyst, they can be the application programmer, sophisticated user, casual user. I hope you understood my language lecture. Thank you for watching the lecture. Kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.